What's happening, all you future debt-free millionaires? This is Zach Edwards with another episode of Debt-Free Millionaire Podcast and Personal Finance Course. And we got big news today. Actually, come to find out, we have decided to actually create a larger book than we were expecting with a personal finance book. It's a long story, but we actually created an activity book that is not exactly attached to our game, but is attached to our game. So before, we actually had game instructions in the mix of the workbook. So you could actually see where it is in the game, but we're actually managing to do it a little bit differently. We will actually be doing one that's attached to the game, but we thought it would be actually better for those that want to be in the game and those that don't want to see the game, or adults that can't access the game, to be able to just have a regular workbook, which they can actually fill out and keep for a long period of time. So this is a big change, which means that there will be a few changes to this whole podcast a little bit, because we're going to be going further than we were before, but our second season is still going to be on real estate. The first season, though, is going to fill in some of the gaps that we created in this new workbook, and that will allow us to go further than we did before with the book that we had. One of the other things is we needed to cover some topics that were not focused in this workbook that we were designing and trying to get out as soon as possible. And we still are trying to get it out as soon as possible, but because this is still a brand new podcast, we thought it would be better to do it now than later on and regret not doing it the right way. So this is why we're still going with the podcast. We're still going to be filling in the gaps. And as you go, you're still going to have the same breakdown on most of the weeks. Some of them have actually changed, and we will actually create a page that will actually show you exactly where everything is, so you're not confused. They might not say like week 6, day 5, but we will actually give you a better breakdown. But today we're going to stick with the activity book that we have. This was already planned out. So in this workbook, we are going to be talking about something that's very important to everyone that is debt-free. And the reason why I say that is because you get to be debt-free. It means you've done a lot of hard work. There are a lot of people out there that don't have a lot of the opportunities that you have, or that are down in their luck at the time, or maybe you've been down in your luck at some point, or maybe it's part of your faith. And for this reason, we ask you to be generous as well as being debt-free or being frugal or being entrepreneurial. Generosity is something that just doesn't just benefit you. It doesn't just benefit the person that you're donating to. It helps everyone. And I'll go through all these different parts. First off, I wanted to show you something that's really, really interesting. This was a chart of generosity throughout the world. So I wanted to bring this one up. And as you can see, the United States is actually number 1 in the world for generosity. Number 2 would be, as I was reading it, number 6 is Canada. So the United States is the most generous out of any other country out there. We give away more money, and we're not just talking about the government. This is people in the country. So the government might give out money, but it's the people that give out money that create these scores. So, okay, so if you're from the United States, give yourself a pat on the back if you donate already. If you don't, please join in. It has many benefits, which we will go over as we go through this podcast. But let me go through some of the things that are also found in our activity book. One of the big things to know is that every year let's not go into that yet. I will go into specific things that help you to relieve your taxes and other things with generosity, but we will get that there very soon. So now, generosity is not only financial giving, but it includes maybe your time, help, showing concern for others. It could even be smiles on your face, though that would not be measured in this kind of graph. This kind of graph. it would actually be measured in how generous you are. Now, again, no one knows how generous you are. No one is supposed to know how generous you are. This is not something that you tout to everyone. You don't go out and boast, I'm the most generous person in the world. Because then it doesn't really matter, does it? There's no benefit for you, minus the little bit of publicity that you get. People that donate and then blab it to the world, yeah, they have their reward there. I'm talking about better rewards than that. I'm talking about rewards not just here on earth, but in heaven as well. And if you don't believe in heaven, then in the internal mechanisms inside you that you'll actually see. See, generosity, when it becomes public, means that you have to continue to be public with certain things that you do. And if you're very public about the things that you do, your mind does not hold on to the generosity that you are. It's a fleeting thing. Though, if you're generous and nobody knows about it, it's something that your body, your mind takes in and says, ha, I'm generous, I do all these things, but I don't tell other people about it. It gives an added level of benefit for you. Now, if you need to know what generosity is, it's basically giving out, again, your time, helping someone out, showing concern for another, smiling. It could smiling at somebody else, trying to get them to smile, make them feel good, or giving out their money. But you don't have to give out your money to be generous. If you don't have money, you can't be generous. There's no money to give. But if you do have money and you have the opportunity to be generous, please hand some money out. Give it to worthy causes that you know will actually spend your money wisely. I don't give out my money to X, Y, or Z industries or organizations because I know that they spend $1 million a year on their CEO, on their president of their organization. I will never do that. Ones that fund things that break the law. Yeah, there are actual nonprofits that break the law. I will not, or support people that are breaking the law. I will not support those organizations either. So if you are considering giving out money donations, find out what organization that you're actually talking to. Find out ones where 95%, 99%, 100% of your money goes to the people that are supposed to be getting your money. Now they actually have to publicly divulge this, how much actually goes to it, and they have bylaws that they have to sign up when they get a 501c3. Now what a 501c3 is, it's a nonprofit. So we have a nonprofit. It's called Innovate the Future, but our nonprofit is not a 501c3 yet. It's in the process of getting there. So we are a nonprofit, but we still have to report our taxes. When we get 501c3, we actually can report our taxes, but we don't actually report our earnings, but we don't have to provide them with taxes. Sorry, we don't have to pay our taxes or pay taxes on the money that is donated to us. And if we have a 501c3, those that donate to us can actually get benefits from it, such as a tax break for donating to us. So this is a great thing. So nonprofits can actually repay you by not repaying you, but instead giving you documentation where you can actually go and file it in your taxes. Now, if you're a person of faith, most religions, Muslims have a type of tax or a type of tithing. So does Christianity. Now, the other ones I'm not quite sure of, but I'm pretty sure they have other ways of being generous. But in the Christian faith, you actually are supposed to donate 10%, a tithe, which means 10th. So a 10th of what you earn, and this is before taxes, before benefits and such like that, because you're paying that out. Now, I'm not going to tell you, according to your faith, this is just how I believe my faith is, that it's 10% on whatever I earn, not what the government takes out, not minus what my government takes out, or what I get for benefits and such, but instead, it is to actually put in the money that that I've earned, and I will give that to God. Some other people might pay their tithing by paying 10% to X, Y, or Z nonprofit organization. It's up to you. But all those nonprofit organizations actually give you a tax break, which is great. Why not? If the government's willing to give it, it is not a bad thing for you to take it, even if you're just being generous and don't want anything back. you might as well benefit from the tax laws that are put in there. And remember, it's not that you're paying less to the government, it's that you're paying less of your money. It's like not that the government is getting more back of more of their money. No, it's less money that you're paying them. And you put, because you're saving money on that, you could actually pay more towards generous giving. So just something to think about. Okay, consider some of the benefits of being this way. So let's go through this. First, I want to go through some of these pictures. Okay, so the first one is a graph of the world, and you can see the most generous countries. Those that are in red, bright red, give away 60%. 60% of their income goes to charity. Wow, that's amazing. It is actually saying that a lot of the millionaires, billionaires, and stuff like that, they give a huge amount to nonprofits and to other countries. When a country is struggling, like when a tsunami hits, I think it was Indonesia, part of one of the islands out there, they sent money out there and supplies and time to go help out. So those are part of the generousness of those in the Americas, or those in America, United States of America. Sorry, because there is Canada that's in America. But as you can see from this graph, Canada is only number 6. Number 2, interesting enough, is Myanmar. Myanmar? Really? They're the most generous? Wow, I've never seen that before. But according to this, it is. And if you look in the last one, Myanmar is also generous. Okay, so going forward, third place, New Zealand, most generous. 4th, Australia. 5, Ireland. 6, Canada. 7, UK. 8, Netherlands. Sri Lanka is number 9, and Indonesia is 10. Wow, those are some very generous people in each of those countries, especially the ones that don't have that much. But I guess that's brought into the mix. Now, here's an interesting one. This is a graph of all the states that are most generous. And as you can see, Minnesota is number 1. And it's probably because, have you ever met someone from Minnesota? They are amazing people. Yes, they are the cream of the crop. They have, I guess, great soil there. Second is Utah. Third, New York. Okay, they do have very wealthy people. But if New York, because of their wealth, is the third most generous, California is 39. Wow. So yeah, I'll actually have these in the notes so you can see them all. But just those are some of them. Going on. Now, the joys of generosity. Now, I'll actually let you see this in the notes at the end of the comments, but not at the end of the comments, at the end of the description for our podcast today. But there is a drawing called the Joy of Generosity. And it actually talks about, as you're a child, you are actually more generous than ever in your life. And it probably shows that generosity is an innate ability. It is something that is inside of you. Now, people are more generous with people that they know. And as you get down the line, you can see that, like, America donates in 2018, it was donated $427 billion to other countries in need, not just handouts to other countries. And the next one talks about generosity can spread. So there's all these different benefits. Please look at this. It's quite interesting. One of the tops are, what are the biological, philosophical, and social factors that encourage people to give time, talents, and treasure? So go ahead and read that. That's not by the John Templeton Foundation. But I said I was going to get into generosity and some of the benefits of it. Okay, so 8 reasons to be generous or to give. One is love. That's the biggest one. You love someone, you want to give your money away. Now, I don't know about other faiths. In the Christian faith, we are actually asked not to judge people, and I know some people do, but asked to not to judge people, and also to be generous. There's 2 greatest commandments in the Christian faith. One is to love God, but the second is like unto it, which is to love your neighbor as yourself. And if you love your neighbor, you're going to be generous with them. Time, talents, treasures. Again, those 3 things. all come up into the ways you can be charitable. The next one is congratulations. Yes, there's a lot of reasons. Graduations, weddings, all these things you can be generous with others. Celebrations, another great one. Appreciation. Thank you for doing this. How about these ones? These are interesting. And these are like the more a little bit negative ones. But apology. So I did something wrong. I'm sorry. Here's something to show my sorrow. A connection. Now, might be a little selfish, but not much. It means you're trying to connect with other people. You're trying to create a relationship. But the next one definitely is, it's bribes. Okay, that is not a reason to give. No matter what, that is not a reason to give, because that's not real giving. Real giving and generosity should not have strings attached. Bribery is all about having strings attached. And the next one is, it's fun. Yes, guys, everyone, it is fun to give money away. Now, if you have money, if you don't have money, it becomes less fun because you're losing out on a lot of things that you could have done with that money, including feeding yourselves. But it can be fun. Going out and serving is fun. Now, 8 benefits of giving. Now, these are the normal ones. I'm going to actually show you the health benefits as well. I'm going to go through these really quickly. Enjoy others' happiness. I am happier because I see someone else happier, which comes up to the bring one, the next one, the second one, which is feel happiness, happier. Find a connection with someone. That's another one of the benefits of giving. Building confidence. Yeah, you can actually build your confidence up the more that you give and more that you serve. Gratitude. You'll actually be able to receive better understanding of gratitude inside you and out when you show gratitude. Karma. What comes around goes around. When you do something for others, it's going to come back to you. So just letting you know that. Spreading love. That's right. The benefit of giving is that you show love to someone else, they show love to you. So that is actually a great thing when you're able to show your love. Again, it doesn't have to be money. It can be time. It can be words of affection. There's a book out there called The 5 Love Languages. It doesn't just have to do with your family or your spouse. It has to do with everyone. Words of affection, service, gift giving, of course. It could be like donating and such. And there's many other ones. There's a few other ones. And actually, I think they grew the list as well. It's not just 5 now. But those are all health benefits of showing your love and generosity to others. Okay, so, and the ways to show people your love. Now, the last one is health. And the reason why I'm going to put on this is because this is a very important part to understand. When you're generous, you actually become healthier than you were before you were generous. Let's go through some of the things. Low blood pressure. Really? Yeah. When you give people, you create endorphins. You create a lot of different chemical reactions that go through. Dopamine, everything that goes through you. That actually helps the circulation in your body flow. You become more active and you lower your blood pressure. You're not stressed out all the time. The relaxation of generosity. The next one is improve your self-esteem. So I want to be able to have more confidence and feel better about myself. Here's the interesting thing, and this is the next one that has to do with this one. Lessens anxiety and depression. Lessens anxiety and depression. All the kids that are in high school and elementary school, middle school, you need to hear this. The more you serve, the more you do other things for other people, the less anxiety you'll have, the less depression you will have. That is a proven scientific fact. So maybe drop the screens right now and go serve someone. Go mow someone's lawn. Go shovel someone's driveway. Whatever season is, find something to do to serve others. You will get so many great health benefits and you will feel better about yourself. A few other ones. Lower your stress level. Has to do with the last one. Lowering your stress level, especially if you're in school, college students. Holy cow. Lower your stress levels by being generous to others. Wow. Could it be that simple? Yes. Yes, it can. Okay, next one. Foster social connection. You're going to connect with more people the more you give and are generous with others. And the last one is increase your happiness. That's right. The more you give, the more you get. the happier you will be. Now, at some point, we came up with this little reasoning inside faith. Okay, when God asks you to do things, the first thing you do is because you fear him. Okay, but that's not a good reason. Truthfully, that's not a good reason. You're going to do something that God asked you to do because you fear him? Well, here's the thing. Don't fear him. The next thing you do is you're going to do it because you get something out of it. You get benefits for it. Yes, that's right. You get things from God in your faith. This is if you have faith in God, because you do stuff that he asks you to do. If he says, don't steal, don't cheat, don't covet your neighbor's wife. Wow. If you follow those 3 rules, you're going to be happier. I'll tell you what, I will guarantee you'll be happier if you don't steal, you don't cheat, and you don't covet what other people have. And especially, don't covet your neighbor's wife. Wow, that's a really big one. That's an easy one. And that will make you a lot happier following those rules. If you follow God's rules, you might fear him, and that will start you off. But if you do it because you want the benefit from what he does, that's great, but that's only step 2. The number one reason in which, after you get to the point of being selfish, like you're trying to get things out of doing what God wants you to do or doing what your benefits want, it's the third one. It's because you show love. Now, love for God or love for the person that you're donating to or being generous to or helping out. And you will be happier when you finally get through the first 2 and get to the last one. When you get to the last one and you show a person that you love them, you will see amazing benefits that you never thought you would have before. Okay, I'm going to end it here because this is a great place to end. Just think about it. The more you're generous with others, the more you will benefit from what you do and who you are. I guarantee it. 100%. Money back guarantee. And since this is free, I hope you enjoyed this Debt-Free Millionaire podcast, and we will see you tomorrow. Whew. This is great. Love it, guys. You're awesome, and I appreciate you being here. Take care until tomorrow. Bye.